Are you a man who strives to do the best in life? What does it mean to be a man? Make money? Build muscle? Show your authority to everyone? Quit work to raise your kids? It's arguably all of these things and none. In today's video, we'll discuss the 10 skills all men need in life. Why do men need excellent communication skills? Do men really need to be emotionally intelligent? We'll be talking about these, so keep on watching to find out more. Before we continue, a like would be great. Number 1, effective communication. Effective is the key word here. Men are notoriously bad communicators, sorry guys, and are hindered in ways they don't even realize because of it. Communication skills are a balance of active listening and an accurate translation of thoughts to words in a way that the average person can easily understand. Also included are nonverbal skills such as body language and facial expressions that help to get your point across. Articulation and enunciation are key, which are often accentuated by slowing down and speaking deliberately rather than trying to get as many words out as possible. Practice your tonality and pitch when you're nervous. Recognize the natural patterns of speeding up your words and raising the pitch of your voice under stressful situations, and consciously decide how you want to sound. Number 2, emotional intelligence. The capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. Emotional intelligence, EQ, is an essential piece of building trust with people because you're able to make them feel heard and understood. You can navigate social and professional situations more effectively, and you know when to push, when to pull, and when to simply disengage. This is beneficial in your personal and professional life, whether you're dealing with an intense argument with your significant other or a disagreement with an upset client or employee. Number 3, self-discipline. Discipline allows us to stay focused on a plan or a task in order to move further toward a goal of any kind. It empowers us to stay consistent on a fitness routine, meet a deadline at work, make sales calls to grow our business, or even stay in close contact with a loved one by scheduling time to get together. Discipline is prioritizing what your future self needs over what your current self wants, because you're not always going to want to do the work. In fact, many highly successful people will tell you that they're lazy and unmotivated if left to their own devices. The only thing that's brought them to a high level is their commitment to discipline, to do the work even when they didn't feel like it. No matter what success looks like to you or what goals you're looking to accomplish, none of it can be achieved without consistency, which is fueled by discipline. Number 4, how to dress. Dressing well isn't about being in a tailored suit or tuxedo all the time. Dressing well applies to any personal style or fashion choice. It's a matter of how you pull it off. Color or pattern coordination, fit, unique combinations, bold self-expression. The way you present yourself plays a huge role in all areas of life, whether or not we'd like to admit it. But liking the rules of the game isn't as important as knowing how to win by using them to your advantage. Number 5, tipping and service etiquette. How much do you tip at a restaurant? Out at a bar? How kind are you to those who work in the service industry? Do you simply take your item and leave, or do you graciously thank the living and breathing human being for providing you with a service? A human who is deserving of respect and whose entire livelihood is dependent on providing you with good service so you will show your gratitude. That's why it's called a gratuity. Number 6, being trustworthy. We are listing this as a skill because it requires effort. It's much easier to focus on yourself, to tell other people you're busy, to just do what benefits you directly. It takes more effort to put aside your own interests in order to be there for someone else, whether it's picking them up when a car breaks down, covering for them at work, running errands when they're unable, or simply lending an ear in a time of need. Being trustworthy and reliable is a skill that is waning thanks to a focus on self, being magnified by social media and external validation, having everyone putting themselves first. Number 7, manners and etiquette. Guys, seriously, we're not sure when it was that simple please and thank you became the stuff of history books, but the most basic manners we have really need to make a resurgence if we want to live in a civilized society. More than just simple niceties, though, are the deeper nuances of etiquette that are changing in a post-COVID world. A few quick pointers. It's always best to ask who's comfortable with shaking hands rather than simply extending, which may cause some awkwardness. If you're old school on dates, always open doors. When following the host or hostess to the table, your date should walk in front of you. When walking upstairs, your date should walk in front of you. When walking downstairs, your date should walk behind you. When walking on the sidewalk, your date should be on the inside, away from the street. Always express gratitude to servers, hosts, baristas, bartenders. Do your best to read body language and nonverbal cues to gauge your date's comfort level so you don't overstep, and also so you don't miss good signs either. Number 8, consent, consent, consent. Asking for and determining consent is a skill because it's something that has been much more focused on over the past few years. Finally, it may sound extreme to some, but even something as simple as a hug is best to get consent for first. I'm not saying you need to explicitly ask permission, particularly on a date when the signs of interest are mutual and obvious, but in regular everyday life, we need to make sure we're not overstepping boundaries and making people uncomfortable. Do you have to ask if you want to kiss someone? Well, if you're centimeters away from their lips and it's obviously going to happen, the clear answer is no. But making sure you have approval for physical advances can help avoid some serious future drama or conflict. Number 9, personal accountability. A gentleman takes responsibility for his actions, right, wrong, and otherwise. We're growing up in a world where nothing can possibly be our fault. The breakup is always because of the ex. The toxic work environment is always because of the bad boss. The weight gain is always because of crappy processed foods. While these circumstances might make things more difficult, the bottom line is that we are responsible for the direction that our own lives go, and owning up to it is an essential skill of a man. Possibly one of the most difficult because it requires self-reflection and finding our own shortcomings, but also because of this, possibly one of the most important. Number 10, figuring out your own thing. We bet you didn't see this coming, nor did you see it as a skill, but here it is. Figuring out your own thing as a man is one of the most important things you'll ever do. Things like personal and professional goals that are true to you, not your family, not your friends, not your social media followers, what you want. Wants versus needs. Why do you want the things you want? Finding the deeper meaning behind your desires is the quickest and most efficient way to actually get them. What is your identity? Not what you do for a living, not your relationship status, not your family life. What are your values, your beliefs, your standards? These are what make you up as a man. What standards do you expect from yourself on a regular basis? What are you going to do if you fall short? What do you want for your future, and who do you want in it? Figuring this out prevents leading people on or going down the wrong road yourself. Sitting down with yourself and getting crystal clear on your identity and purpose in this world is the most important skill you'll ever cultivate. It empowers you to let go of the things and people not meant for you and live a life in full alignment with yourself that draws the right opportunities and people to you. If you can hone and develop each of these skills individually, you'll be well on your way to becoming a well-rounded man. Do you have these 10 skills that all men need in life? If not, are you ready to learn them? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.